Hey everybody, welcome to another QA session with Duke. Today we are talking about why can't I find Servicenow talent, part 2. So you've had no problem finding resumes, maybe you got a couple candidates on interview and you're super excited about passing them on to more people at your organization to interview because you want to be sure. But remember, if you think they're promising, so do a ton of other people, and these are super in-demand resources, so the longer you take on that interview process, the more likely it is that they get an offer that they like and they go and take that. So always be cognizant about the duration of your interview process and the number of people that you need to get this person interviewed to be sure. I just want to underscore that last point. Imagine you want to have this person go through 4 or 5 interviews at your organization. That means 4 or 5 other organizations are probably thinking the same thing. This person is probably already working, so you're basically asking them to squeeze in 10 to 25 extra hours into their week or weeks in order to get all these interviews done. I think what you'll find is people are going to find the fastest way to ground. So the organizations that can organize the most effectively, get all those interviews done in the shortest amount of time and shortest amount of slots, will win the resources. Another practice I'm seeing more and more of is this idea of a trial period wherein the candidate has to prove themselves by doing actual work, whether that's billable work or a mock-up of a project over an extended period of time. I don't know how people think they can get away with this, and it's not that I don't understand where it's coming from, it's this idea that they are going to expect it for free. That is exploitative. You are getting benefit off of their labor, even if that benefit is being sure this is the right resource. And a friend of mine who I connected with somebody looking for Servicenow developers was actually propositioned to do about a month's worth of work, a month's worth of labor at his own time and expense, so that the employer could be sure that he was the right kind of developer. You know, you don't need to go that deep to be sure. You can find out if somebody's a credible dev with a lot less time and effort. Okay, but what do I know? I'm not even a real dev. So if you're the type of employer that says, we really absolutely need to know that this person can deliver on something that is such large scale that it would take them a month to prove it, then by all means, go after that. But you know what? Put your money where your mouth is and pay them for the experiment, because you're reaping all the benefit. You get to be sure, and that is a monetizable benefit. So if you're a large organization and possibly have a relationship with a large global services integrator, you've probably hit this problem, which is too many middlemen. Now, I know it's a difficult problem to circumvent because with procurement, the hand that rocks the cradle controls the world. Basically what happens though is that you give word to your global service integrator that you need the Servicenow resource. They go to their recruiters, those recruiters go to other recruiters until they find them other people. But by the time you're getting to the talent, okay, they are basically priced out of the market, significantly substandard market rates, because everybody from the bottom up is taking a cut of the price tag. So if you are a large organization and you do have one of these relationships and you're relying on somebody else to go find the talent for you, you may want to talk to your procurement department and see how many direct relationships you can get with recruiting agencies, because the more direct a relationship, the less people taking margin in the middle, and the more leverage you have to get a resource that knows what they're worth and will be a quality resource for you going forward. And this is a mousetrap. You see them all over the city of Chicago. You really should call them rat traps, because the kinds of things that crawl back into here and don't come back out are the size of small dogs. Which reminds me, one thing that you should be very careful of is the reputation of the staffing agencies that you use. There are more than one staffing agency in the Servicenow ecosystem that advertise themselves as Servicenow specialists, who many of us will dismiss sight unseen. Doesn't matter what the job opportunity is, if it's being advertised by one of these agencies, not for me. Okay, so if you are using a Servicenow recruiter, be sure to ask them how they source their leads, because remember what we said about the middleman? In a lot of cases, recruiting agencies will just ship the job rec to lower and lower tiers in the recruiting game until the point where the bottom tier is just spamming this out. Now, it doesn't matter what you think the job is worth. You could be willing to pay top dollar, but by the time it gets to that level and it's spammed out into everybody's inbox, there is a distinct perception that job isn't worth interviewing for because the margins are going to be so terribly low. Okay, on the last video we ended with some stupid standards, and so I thought I'd end it with a nice little comedic punch at the last stupid standard that I heard about. Now, I can't name names, but this gentleman is very, very reputable in the Servicenow community. He's one of India's top Servicenow talents. He's been in the game for years and years and years. Any organization in the world would be lucky to have him, and he was refused a second interview because he didn't finish university in a conventional way. Imagine the stupidity of somebody who's going to judge a man in his late 30s because he didn't finish college in 4 years. It took him a little bit longer. Stupid. This has been another QA session with the Duke. I love you all. I want the best for you. If you have a Servicenow role that you need filled, I'd love to help you with that. Check the details below for how to contact me. Thanks for watching.